Okay, so if you remember a while back, we did get the Zuck Grandmaster time, which was a sub 1330. However, there is another time which I would like to try and achieve as well. ME Grandmaster thingamajiggy, and for that one, we need a sub 13. So it's a bit faster than the main game Zuck. And last time we got this Zuck in 4 tries. So, you know what? I think a sub 13 might be possible. So, first run, it was a bit slow. I've kind of forgotten a lot of the speed tech. I also forgot a super restore. But it's a 1427, which, I mean, that's not too bad, considering I haven't done this in a long time. Still slower than the PB, of course. But, you know, it's an improvement for right now, which is good. Like, last time it took us 4 times to get the 1330, so it's looking about similar this time as well. Oh, that was good. That was nice. Okay. This run feels fairly speedy so far. Not quite a sub 13, but that's a 1322. So that is a PB, and that does smash the official Grandmaster time, at least, in game. So that's pretty nifty. Oh, a cultist ring, because the Tokuzo doesn't work on Zuck. So I definitely lost some time there. That's not good, is it? That's a lot of damage that I lost, and some necrosis stacks too. Whoops. Deathmark features on the pillars either, which I did actually get in my previous PB, the 1329 from a while ago. I did actually use a little feature that did save me an entire pillar cycle, but I didn't do any this time. A couple of days since I've last attempted this, and as you can see, the rust is very much there. I had a 1322 last time, and now I was a little bit slow, but I'm sure I'll get back into it without too many problems. What would be an official GM time, basically there for the RS3 official in-game GM, but, you know, it's still 30 seconds slower than what we want, so it's not quite enough. Boom, boom, boom. It's a PB! Okay, that's a 10-second PB. That's nice. So we have 12 seconds to save. Okay. Okay. Oh, kill it, please. Kill it. No, come on. Oh, hey, we got a PB at least. So 10 seconds to save, guys. 10 seconds to go. It's another PB. That time. So we are getting consistently Grandmastery for the official game. Just need to save a little bit of time for that PVME sub 13. Oh, that was a wave. That was definitely a wave. So, guys, that may look like a sub 13, but I did actually get a deathmark bug there, and PVME takes off 10 seconds for that. So, unfortunately, that would essentially be a 1309 according to their rules there. Technically a PB, because I didn't get a deathmark bug, but yeah, I really messed up before Zuck. I accidentally used Natural Instinct at a terrible time, and we lost ourselves probably at least those 5 seconds. Nice. Good wave again. We like that. And there we go. Another one down. 1307 again. Like, we're so... Like, it's almost there, isn't it? Almost. Why am I a bit slow, though, is the question. Maybe. Go. That's it, I think. Yes, dude. 1257. And we didn't get any deathmark bugs. That is a PVME Grandmaster. All right. Cool. Happy with that. Let's just double check. Absolutely no deathmark bugs in there at all. Yeah, that looks perfect to me. Nice. After I got into it a little bit, there's still a fair bit more optimization to go, but like on the whole, that was just a decent run throughout, and I'm actually quite happy with that. So yeah, awesome stuff. Okay, so here we go. This is the run that got us the very quick time, so we're going to go over that ever so slightly. At the beginning there, we are coming over here, giving that guy a little bloat, and then doing a nice little living death shortly after that, which is a bit strange on P1, but it's actually very good. So living death, threads of fate, soul sap and volley, and then tier 95 spec those guys at the back. I did end up finger of deathing those guys this time, but it doesn't really matter what you do. A little death mark. Kill those guys over there, grab some death skulls going on, try and kill all these guys as quickly as you can, because your last second of living death you want to be throwing a death skulls up the top, and it'll bounce on all the birdies and hopefully demolish them somewhat. And then we grab that guy down, that is all good. And then a nice little death mark, skeleton, watch out for the flames. And here we want to be killing one of those mobs and also one of the big guys as well. Aiming for 5 stacks if we can, which we did just get there, perfect. And then we do another Invoke Death, Threads of Fate, Volley of Souls, those guys, Surge and Dive over, and then tier 95 spec, oh sorry, tier 90 spec, those guys. And then you're here very, very quickly. Here we do a little Death Mark and Bloat, and then we make sure you run down far enough that the big ranger guy can come over as well. Another death mark, another bloat, and a bit of a misclick apparently, which is not ideal, but it should still be okay. Death mark, stun and bloat on this guy, and then hopefully they all fall over at some point. This bit, definitely not my best one there, but hey, it did work. And then here we want to make sure we get a death skulls, a bloat, a split soul, you know, a bit of soul sapping going on, and just a nice little tier 90 spec as well. And then here we have the first challenge, so we're going to be Threads of Fating, Target Cycle, Volley of Souls, Target Cycle, tier 95 spec, and somehow that guy didn't die, I think because my ring wasn't on, my Toggle Zoe ring there, but it's okay. We'll resummon our dudes, and then kill whatever we can around us. This is of course the first Jad wave, and we will be using a Living Death again fairly shortly. Living Death, Adren Pot, Surge all the mobs up here. Grab the Touch of Death, Death Skulls, all that good stuff. And then we're basically just trying to demolish these guys as best we can. Unfortunately, we don't have a Threads of Fate available here, which would be lovely. But of course, Challenge 1 does consume our Threads of Fate, so we do just have to make do with, you know, some soul scythes and some soul strikes, various bits and bobs, but we made it. But that does mean we now have the Threads of Fate ability for this wave, which is going to be very, very good for us. And essentially we're going to try and get all the mobs together. I might just mute that real quick. Get all the mobs together around about here. They're all nice and grouped up. Threads of Fate, nearly die. Then you go boom, boom, and boom, and look at that. Just like that, it's nice and easy. Well, I say easy, I nearly died doing it, but you know what I mean. They all fall over. And then I believe we're actually Threads of Fating this wave as well, so we're just kind of getting whatever stragglers we can at the moment. Just getting those out the way. Because we do have still 17 seconds to wait until our threads are back up. I'm kind of flailing around a bit, but, you know, it's all for good reason. And yeah, we will be threadsing again soon. Like it's in 5 seconds now. So we're getting ready. Deathmark, Threads of Fate. Do a nice little Volley of Souls, like a tier 90 spec or something. And unfortunately that guy at the back did live. But everything else got murdered, so that was okay. And then same again with the special mobs. Nice and close on that one, making sure we're going far enough down that the ranger does come around to say hello. And yeah, just obviously Deathmark and blooting everything. Because yeah, bloat, very good ability. You may not know that, but it's a very, very good ability indeed. So it is absolutely fantastic. So there we go, bring those guys down, jump on over again, press the button, you know, the classic Death Skulls, bloat, you know, soul sap, volley, whatever you need really. Just make sure you save the tier 90 spec for this guy, because you're going to need it when you Vuln, Deathmark, Target Cycle, and EOF spec, and then just attack him, and then you're basically good. After that, you want to desummon your dudes, summon them again, life transfer, attack that little mage guy, and then get this bat, who is my absolute nemesis, as quickly as you can before doing a living death and getting ready for the Jaddywinkles. So we do, I believe, use Threads of Fate on this wave as well. Just whack that guy down over there. And then when we can lure the big guy towards us as well, he's on his way down now. Be a nice Threads of Fate, a volley, oh, a finger, and just trying to whack those guys down as much as we can. I think I did a tier 90 spec on that melee guy, which if I lured him down better previously, I wouldn't have actually had to do that, but it's not too bad. And then once again, we're basically waiting for the Threads of Fate cooldown, as is tradition at the moment. You know, greater threads when reduced cooldown anyone. But yeah, once again, just getting the stragglers as best we can. Look at all them grouping up. You know what's about to happen in 7 seconds. So I'm just going to reflect to take less damage. Death mark, and then here we go. The Threads of Fate. Nice little volley of souls, weapon specs, what have you. Look at that. Everything is gone in an instant. Absolutely glorious. Making sure to switch back to my first Necromancer for summoning my conjures there as well is very important, because the damage that they deal is actually based on the basically what you're wearing at spawn. So if you wear first Necromancer gear, they will last longer and do more damage. It's perfect. But then yeah, otherwise it's just switching back to the Obsidian Helm to take a bit less damage. This place does really hurt. And once again, 5 seconds, we'll have more threads. That major guy's coming up. Threads of Fate, nice little volley. And then a weapon spec of some description. And then we're back at it again for the special mobs. And then Zuck again afterwards, of course. Exactly the same as last time. It is identical. With a bad surge involved as well. So, oh dear, like it's only now I'm seeing all the mistakes of the run. I thought it was really good, but apparently I made some mistakes in that. But here we go, got the third challenge now, so we're actually gonna target cycle, attack him, and then resonance, the first hit right there, and then devotion, the subsequent ones, and then disruption shield, the final hit from the typeless guy. And then after that we have triple Jads to deal with. But once again, there's a living death while we're still on the little dudes, because we want our cooldown to come back up nice and early. So blitz down this guy, and then here making sure we only aggro one Jad at a time, because otherwise if they attack at the exact same time, we have a problem. Nice little Threads of Fate with a death mark involved as well. Just getting both of them down, big AoE damage, and look at that, they're down very, very, very fast. That was fantastic. Grabbing what souls we can before doing Death Mark and Split Soul again. And then the skeleton, see which side he spawns on, and then just do damage, you know, bloat, death skulls, weapon specs, volleys. I do a little tier 95 mage spec as well there, it does a lot of damage, that does. So I would recommend bringing one if you can. Here I've actually done so much damage to the boss that I need to be a bit careful, because if I go too quickly, then the living death cooldown will not have come back up yet, which would be quite bad. And here we go, we're on Zuck now, building to 100% adrenaline before natural instincting, because we don't have an adrenaline pot and we do want to living death, so we need another way to get some adrenaline. I'm gonna build up all that stuff as best we can. Still 4 seconds left on my living death, so yeah, I should have probably waited a tiny bit longer on the Hurricane, which would have actually let me do a bit more damage on this first cycle as well, maybe make things more comfy. So, you know, going slow to go fast, it's real. It is real sometimes. Yeah, basically just doing the damaging abilities. There's not really much to say. There's no special tech on this one, I would say. Disruption shield, the big kaboom. Try and keep your split soul up as much as you can. Tier 90 weapon spec near the end. And yeah, just do whatever damage you can there. So I got it sub 500, that is pretty good. It is possible to go a little bit lower, but you know, sub 500, very happy with that. That is absolutely fine for what we are going for. Deal with the mobs, they always spawn basically directly opposite you and then one to the left. One pizza slice to the left, so nice and easy. Although I feel like in hard mode they should spawn randomly, like make it less predictable, but either that's a topic for another day. So then yeah, we do all our stuff, make sure our dudes are back up, make sure we have full souls and full necrosis stacks going into part 2 of this, and very conveniently my living death cooldown is basically back up again as well. This time though we get an adrenaline potion, which is quite nice. So living death, adren pot, and then we're gonna just go to town as best we can, get that split soul going on. And look at that, loads of extra damage, so we're in a great spot. Nice little Excalibur as well. And then look at that. Little surge back and forth, or surge dive, just to get rid of the hit points. Debufferoonie thingamajiggy. And then we need to get him down to 100k. Unfortunately, it didn't do quite enough damage here, so he did do his big kablam attack. But we can just disruption shield that one. And then here we need to be making sure we are death marking and bloating every single pillar, because honestly, bloat, such a good ability. It is honestly incredible. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit as well so you guys can hear. This is just a VOD from Twitch time, basically live commentating. But yeah, not really too much to say here. Resonance the first explosion, Reflect the second one, you know, Vitality Pot the third one. And so there's actually a feature you can do here as well if you want to kind of go faster, but we weren't allowed to do that for the PvMe Grandmaster time. Basically, you deathmark the pillar, but then kill it before deathmark procs with a big hitting ability, and you can actually do a double cycle at once. It does make the boss do 2 big kablams, so you got to watch out for that. Maybe, but otherwise, go. That's it, I think. Yes, dude, 1257, and we didn't get any deathmark bugs. That is a PvMe Grandmaster. Yes, it is, young Wazzy. Look at that. He's happy with that, and that is hopefully somewhat useful as to how to do it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully it helped, and yeah, I'm a PvMe Grandmaster.